On Lean Sweet, they say all the time, they always talk about Haitian men don't cheat.
Yeah.
Do I have to ask you about that or what?
Haitian men don't cheat.
So you gonna subscribe to that theory as well? Haitian men don't cheat?
I'm gonna subscribe. Sign right up.
Rain, snow, rain, sleet, snow. How many nights do I gotta stay on the grind and selling dope? Range road, chains on me glow. How many licks I had to go out and hit the mason door?
What's up, Lean Sweet family, and welcome back to another dope episode where we get to sit with some of your faves. Now, the last couple of weeks, you guys have had the pleasure of joining us where we teased, we premiered, we gave you all the BTS of Rich the Kid's, what Lean Sweet family called the Horticulture collab with Rich the Kid and Kodak Black. So you saw the BTS, you saw Rich in Miami, you got to see the shooting with some of your favorite comedians and everybody else on set. But today we wanted to sit with Rich and get to know everything behind the man, the music, the culture, the fashion, and all of the above. So, Rich, welcome to Lean Sweet. Officially welcome to Lean Sweet.
Yeah, officially. Feels good.
How you feel today?
Feel great.
You're in Miami. You're in South Florida.
Yeah.
Are you back here? Are you living here? Because you've been a lot of South Florida, Little Haiti lately. So
Yeah. I've been recording a lot of music out here. I'm recording my album right now. So yeah.
And we're going to get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about the Rain Snow song, the collab. But before we get into that, because you were Lean Sweet, we got to start off right out the gate. You got to give us your growing up Haitian story. What was it like, Rich the Kid, growing up Haitian? You grew up in Queens. What was that like for you before you were like Rich the Kid that we all love?
Of course, a lot of Haitian food every day, 24/7. Man, just learning Creole, just being around my grandmother, my father, my mom. So like nobody ever like taught me Creole. I just picked up and learned by myself. Being in New York, definitely like I was just saying this the other day. They don't do the barbecues like a big party like that anymore. Like it's a whole bunch of family members come into a barbecue and they playing Haitian music and they cooking a bunch of food. I don't know. I think when did it stop? Like COVID time or something like that?
Yeah, about COVID.
Yeah.
Because that was a lot of us growing up too. And one of the things you mentioned, which is also my, Lean Sweet story of growing up Haitian, but just not speaking the language, was part of the culture, but never really felt that much, involved with the culture.
Right.
Did you get to a point where you felt like, you're like, dang, am I Haitian enough? Did you have that feeling? Like, did you ever go to that phase of like, am I Haitian enough?
No, I don't think so. I always felt really Haitian.
But you said you didn't speak Creole at home and stuff like.
I didn't speak Creole at home probably till I was like 12 or 10. I just learned gradually, just picking up words, you know what I'm saying? Especially my grandmother, she barely speak any English, so I had to learn Creole for sure.
Have you been to Haiti?
No, I never.
You never been to Haiti? Do you know what part of Haiti your family's from? They talk about going back.
My dad's from Port-au-Prince.
Port-au-Prince? Yeah. Okay, why haven't you been? Because we all have our stories why they don't want us to go if we've never been. What's your you can't go back story?
Man, my family just said it's kind of crazy over there right now.
Which it is right now.
So I do want to go one day for sure. Definitely.
Yo, we got to work on that. I keep telling people I know we can't go to Port-au-Prince right now, but we could definitely go to Okap. We can go to Cape Haitian. We can go all the different provinces and areas of Haiti for sure. So
Facts.
we remember that today. We're going to make sure Rich the Kid get to Haiti.
Get to Haiti.
So let's talk music. So at what point did you know, of course, we always talk here about the triple L's, Haitian, L'école, L'Église, Lacaille. So did your parents want you to be part of one of the L's, or you just always knew you was going to do music? Was music part of your family growing up?
No, I actually was getting locked up and going to jail a lot, like doing
you were one of them.
stupid stuff, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you were one of them Haitians.
And at one point it was just like, am I going to keep going to jail? Or I'm going to find something productive to do with my life, And I was just like, well, I actually didn't plan on making music. I had a girlfriend and she had like her uncles that were rapping and then like she was visiting them in Georgia. She came down to Georgia. She was from Alabama. She came down, and they were recording on their balcony. They had like a studio, and then I was like, yo, let me try to do a rap, and then I made one. I made a song. I took it back to my friends. They liked it, so I was like, all right, if they like it, other people might like it, you know. So I just kept making more songs.
So so this wasn't something like you aspired to be. You're like, okay,
No.
I'm gonna be a rap. Did you have anything else that you wanted to do if you didn't do music?
No, I like the art, like
Okay.
painting. I like the art. I like the basketball. I like the sports.
Yeah.
But I was never really too good at sports.
So once you realized, okay, this was something that was good, when did you get to the point you're like, okay, this is exactly what I'm gonna do? What was that thing that happened? You was like, oh yeah, I could really do this.
Mm, I would like when after I made my first song, I sent it to a whole bunch of DJs. One of the DJs being DJ Techniques. He was like he's a popular DJ in Atlanta, and then he was the DJ for the group Travis Porter.
Yeah.
And I sent the song to him, and he liked the song, and he told me to come meet them at the club one night. So I was like, shit, if the DJs like the song, and the biggest DJ, one of the biggest DJs I know of likes the song, then this might be something. I might be onto something.
So how do you transition your mind from this wasn't something that I was even thinking about. I'm actually good at this. I want to do this. How do you transition your thought process to, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to do? Mm-hmm. And how does that work? Do you start planning it? Do you because did you know the business? Did you even know what to do next? Did you want to be signed? You want to be independent? How you get into that?
I didn't really know. I didn't really know what was next, but I just knew I wanted to be in music, right?
Yeah.
So I started. Well, I know if you got a song, you need to get it to the DJs, right?
Yeah.
So I just started giving CDs to DJs and handing my music out to people and sending it to people on MySpace.
MySpace days.
Yeah.
So what was the time frame of the song? It was like, I'm about to blow up. Like you knew, okay, I was it. I had them blowing up.
Many years after that.
How many years? We talk about that a lot here because we want people to hear how long it takes, because even now we talk about how now people do a song and they expect to just, okay, I've gone viral. This is my hit, now it's off, and then it doesn't normally work like that. For people like yourself that's been in the game for so long, I like hearing y'all tell the story of, this how long it took to get to that point to where I made it.
After 5 years, I felt like I'm onto something. I might blow up. I might make a song. That's something.
How did you go from deciding on what your sound was gonna be?
I was just trying shit, trying whatever, and some people didn't like it, some people did, but I knew I ain't have no other options at this point.
So you were originally on a label, and then you went independent. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Why'd you do that when everybody just wanted? Well, I don't want to say everybody, but the stories you want to get signed to a label. So you get a label. Why would you leave?
Man, so the label I was signed to was an independent label, and they had a lot of other artists, and I felt like they weren't focusing on my project enough. So we just started clashing and getting into it all the time. So I felt like it would be best for me to go my own way and figure out how to do it on my own.
What is something now that you wish you knew back then that you could have done different?
Sometimes I just feel like it's life. Whatever you go through is life. So I wouldn't say it's a lot of things I would try to change.
Yeah.
Because everything that I did made me who I am today.
I like that.
Yeah.
And how has the business, you say, changed from when you started to what the music industry and business look like now?
Oh, the music industry is a lot different now, especially because labels. I feel like labels don't really know what to do with these artists these days, for one, and I feel like they're getting tired of rappers, you know?
Really?
Yeah, like they're not really investing into rap music or investing into marketing or stuff like that. You probably see the, like the most priority artists on the label. They're the ones that get promoted the most type shit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody else, they gotta figure it out.
You got to do it a lot on your own.
Yeah.
I know even with like rain, snow, like we
Yeah.
did like multiple calls and different things about,
Yeah.
you know, what that was going to look like. You were part of a lot of the creative process of all of that. So like these days, do you even have to like turn in treatments and stuff to labels anymore with stuff? Or you just like, okay, this is what I want to do. This how it's going to
pretty
go.
much.
Like, how does all that look now?
Like creative control, like
Yeah.
I know what I want to do, like, you know what I'm saying? I have my team internally, and like we just be like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna rock. Type
Yeah.
shit, you know.
There's a lot of conversation like with music, with the streaming and what that was like and the awards. And
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on how that is? Because you were just nominated, you know, for a Grammy. And so what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you feel like the artists that are getting the recognition, well, I don't want to phrase it like that. Do you feel like the artists that are working as hard are getting the right recognition, I should say, or they're not? And if not, like, what would be the reason? Like, you feel like, okay, I know I got a banger right now, but it's not, like, people not really showing it the love that they should.
Like I said, you know, like the artists that are priority at the label, they're gonna get the hardest and biggest push. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it might not be the artist with the best songs or the best music, you know, and that's why I tell artists like to invest into their own self.
Yeah.
Investing into your own content and being smart with your money, you know,
Yeah.
and making right choices.
No, I love that. You've known really for like high energy tracks. One of my favorite tracks to this day. I don't care how much songs you put out. Plug Walk gonna always be my favorite.
Yeah.
When I literally started Lean Sweet and I was like, I love the word plug. I used to literally call myself the plug
Yeah.
because of Plug Walk.
Right.
So you've done a lot of like really dope, like high energy tracks. But if you had to do like a introspective, like storytelling type album, what story would you want to tell about Rich the Kid?
I'll probably like tell stories about like stuff I used to do before I was rapping.
Like,
Like getting in trouble, going to jail, and doing stuff, stupid shit.
you would want to tell those? Like, is there a reason
Yeah.
why you would want to tell those stories? Because when the
You know, I think I'm gonna actually make a movie about my life soon. So
okay.
maybe I might make a song and put it in there.
Okay, cool. Without, I guess, like spilling too much of what the movie would be for us, what are some of those things, like you'd say, okay, so you want to talk about getting in trouble and stuff, but what is it? Is that you learned something? There's something you want to share? Like, what
Yeah,
about?
I wanna share the story of like, you know, the young artists or young people that are coming up from wherever they're at in the hood or anything. Like, it's possible for you to go from that to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, one other thing I thought about is like, it's not any great movies of success stories from artists since like Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I'm saying? Especially not from my generation.
Yeah,
Like, I think Get Rich or Die Trying and 8 Mile, those were generations before mine, where it's a success story of an artist that went through a lot of adversity to get to where they at, and then like
That's
you're like,
true.
oh yeah, they made it. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
no, that's what's up. And I think also, like, even hearing you say that, what I'm thinking too, you even have another layer of story you get to
Yeah.
tell, because you get to tell like the immigrant story, you
Yeah,
get to tell the
yeah,
Haitian story, like
Facts.
you get to talk about like where you're from and how your background and being Haitian, because people don't realize, like, even when we post y'all a lot of times on Lean Sweet, and we'll post you guys. I remember the first time we started posting you, people were like, Rich the Kid is Haitian? I didn't know Rich the Kid was Haitian. And it's
Yeah.
always get me like, well, why is it such a shock?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that Rich the Kid is Haitian. And I do
Facts.
feel like we need to tell a lot of those stories too, because, and then they'll be like, okay, well, y'all don't say y'all Haitian enough. And it's like, well, if you listen to music and stuff, you guys do talk about,
Yeah.
you know, being Haitian. But I feel like Haitians just want so much. We want to see, if you do a movie, you include
Yeah.
that
I
part
think
of
I
it.
should like include like my parents coming from Haiti
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like before I was born, maybe that'd be dope too.
Yeah, no, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. Like, cause I always I like asking, like my parents and stuff. Like, what was it like in Haiti when y'all were growing up? What music were y'all listening to? My
Yeah.
mom would tell me like, oh, there were movie theaters and stuff. I'm like, movie theaters, like,
Yeah.
getting to hear like those kind of stories would absolutely, I think would be dope. And you shared with me when we were doing the Rain Snow project, there was a painting that you used for the song, and you told
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
like your uncle, and it was a
Yeah.
picture of Haiti. Let's talk about that.
So I was looking for the artwork for the song, and I wanted to be by a Haitian person, and my dad's sister, she her husband does a lot of paintings, and every time I go to her house, I'd be seeing paintings all over. I was like, you know what, I should involve them in this, and she sent me like a link of a bunch of paintings, and I found a perfect one that matched the song.
No, that's what's up. And even with that, you've done lately, well, you've always repped Haiti, you've always repped being Haitian, but you did the collab, Rain Snow with Kodak Black, which, like, again, we call it for the culture, collab. But even with that, you've still been doing a lot, with Haitians. I saw you with Joey Duet File.
Yeah.
And what other Haitians, I guess, have you worked with or partnered with? And who are some that you would want to work with?
Right now, I'm working on my album, so like I'm probably gonna have like other Haitians.
Probably gonna have.
Yeah,
Look at me trying to get that out of you. Like,
Yeah, definitely. I want to like work with some of the OGs in compa.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
You know who?
Probably definitely Alan Cave.
Alan Cave, c'est pas pour that.
Yeah. Definitely him. I think my dad said I'm like related to him, so. I don't know.
Really? Have you met him? Have you guys talked?
Nah, I spoke to him on the phone like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. We're supposed to get in the studio. Whenever I get to New York, we're gonna get in the studio.
Nice. Oh no, Alan's our guy. We love him. He's going viral right now
Word.
for the concert he was at, and people are talking about he might be a vampire because he doesn't age.
Word.
They said Alan has looked the same for like ever. People are trying to
Yeah.
figure out like what is he using.
You gotta send me that clip.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. But no, that's what's up. So even when you said, are you thinking about coming into the compa world, or you want to
Yeah.
bring some of the compa artists into the hip hop scene?
Definitely like mixing it together.
Nice. What kind of topics you think? Like, if we were to do hip hop and compa, what are some topics you think like would make sense, like to talk about in a hip hop compa song?
I don't know. I would have to brainstorm on that one.
Listen to me, I'm trying to be part of the project. Like, listen, we
Yeah.
should talk about. No, but that's what's up, because even with you shot the video in Little Haiti, and I know a lot of that project, we'll talk about Rain Snow, because that was very Haitian. That was a very Haitian project.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk about like why you decided to go with a Haitian director, why Little Haiti, why Miami, why Kodak?
Man, the crazy thing is like me and Kodak have been working together for like 7 years. Like when I first met him, probably before that. Probably like, damn, it's been long as 7 years. I think it's 10 years
Yeah.
or 11 years. 'Cause I think the first song we put out was like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
But he actually he gave me the song. Like he sent it to me, and it's like, you can have the song.
That's what's up.
And then it's crazy. Like I was here in Miami, having dinner, and like at Kiki on the river, and Kodak like pulled up on a boat like next to Kiki, and he's like, "Yo, Rich," like that's Kodak right there. It was really random, and like he walked up, and he's like, "Yo, when you dropping that song?" And I was like, "Damn, I do need to drop that song." You know what I'm saying? And like we were in a restaurant, we started playing different music. Then I played the song, I posted it on my page, and like just mad Haitian flags, and like mad people was like commenting saying like, "Yo, y'all should drop this, drop this, drop this." So I was like, fuck it, we might as well go ahead and drop it. My boy June, I was actually trying to shoot a video with him, and he's a Haitian director.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him, and I was like, I want to shoot this in Little Haiti. I want to have all my Haitians involved with it, and like everything just came together like so perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like amazing. Um, I have never seen so many Haitians together at one time before.
No, it was beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, shout out to June because he was so passionate about it. He
Yeah,
said he
yeah.
wanted to make sure it looked authentically
Yeah, yeah,
Haitian.
yeah, he did it.
He
He
wanted to
did
make sure
perfect.
he have the influences,
Yeah.
comedians. He wanted it in Lil Haiti.
Yeah.
He wanted the tap tap. You had the tap tap in there. No, the video was like amazing. We guys dropped it, obviously. Phew.
Yeah.
You know, it went crazy.
It's amazing.
So that means, so with the album coming up, we might see a little bit more Haitian flags being
for
dropped in
sure,
the.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's what's up. So let's talk some of the other collabs like you've had. So you've worked with literally some of everybody. You've worked with Kanye, Wayne, Migos, Kendrick Lamar. Who would you say, like in the studio or anywhere, out of all the people you work with, that gave you advice or you had a conversation with where you were like, yeah, this is something like a conversation or something I'll never forget? Or who gave you like the best advice?
Who gave me the best advice? I don't know. I don't know, cause like you said, I would work with so many people, and they all just, you know, be telling me stuff too. So it's kind of hard for me to think.
How do you pick the people that you work with? Like, how do you decide who you're gonna do what with? And
I think, you know what, I was just saying this the other day. Like, I think it's more based off of what I think what my fans would like to see. You know what I'm saying? What the fans would like to hear and what they would like to see. I kind of base my collabs off of that.
yeah, you don't talk like you don't. Pretty much all the songs that I feel like you've done, all your songs have done amazing. Do you feel like there's a song or a project that you like, you had an expectation for, and it didn't really pan out the way that you wanted?
Anytime I had an expectation for a song and it didn't pan out the way I wanted, it was probably because of like I said, who was pushing the song or the label I was with. And I didn't get the full opportunities that I was supposed to, you know. But other than that, it's been cool.
And you're independent now.
Yeah.
So what's the difference you think now? You like pretty much in full control.
Yeah.
Is it more work? Less
Yeah,
work?
it's definitely more work.
Yeah.
And I have a good partner who like that you know, helps me fulfill my vision for everything. So
Yeah.
it's pretty dope, you know. I really like it. I'm excited for this album. It's gonna be amazing.
So when you're independent and you like pretty much in charge, when it comes to like what songs go out, are you like in full
Yeah.
control of like all of that?
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have like a gauge or something that you pick to decide, all right, this is what I consider success or not successful? What is your gauge? What is the thing? What's your counter?
Successful as in what?
Like the project or a single? Is it the streams? Is it, you know, the awards? Like what is?
I feel like the consumption of my fans, like how they consume it, and like and the longevity of the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how long the song lasts and stuff like that, or the album lasts.
So do you like, are you very much like you drop an album or song, how long do you think like you focus on that? Because I feel like these days, y'all drop songs in like a month or two, you on to the next project.
Yeah. You know what? Another thing I feel like that has something to do with the labels too, you know, like because you could put out a song and it doesn't do exactly what the label expected to do right off the bat.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not always up to the artist. Depends on if you're signed or you're independent.
Oh, wow. So even if you're independent, you still going through that or?
Oh, no, not really. But, you know, like being signed to a label, they could be like, oh, the song didn't do as well as we thought. We want to go to the next song.
Yeah. You're also big outside of music. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur, and fashion is a big part of your world. You're part of like most of the fashion weeks. You're always overseas. I think most of the clips I see of you, like even on TikTok and stuff, is on other influencer media pages of your fashion. How, like, is that something like you, again, like music, you didn't intend to? Did you intend to get into that? Did you fall into it? Like, when did fashion become like such a big part of your career?
Man, I think just like growing up and watching some of the greats, like Kanye in fashion and these other artists that I look up to in fashion just made me like get into it. Like, oh, they could do it, I can do it too. So, like coming up, I've always been trying to be heavy into fashion until I made it to a certain level where I could actually, be in fashion and work with these brands and stuff.
Do you do your own looks, or do you have stylists? Do y'all work together, or you just already know what you want?
Yeah, it just depends on the timing or when. Most of the time, I just put together my own looks. But
Yeah.
if it's like it's a larger event or we're going to Fashion Week,
Yeah.
I might definitely have a stylist sometimes.
So I want to talk a little bit about like social media, and obviously we obviously don't control the conversations and everything that happens in that world. But your page is always really just like music and what you have going on. You don't really focus too much on your personal life, like your family. Is that on purpose or?
Um, Man, just sometimes, sometimes it's just like better for you to just separate the two.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you can never control people's comments or
Yeah.
their opinions and stuff like that. So I just keep my household closed for a lot of debates and stuff like that.
Have you ever seen, or what is the craziest thing online, like you've probably seen or heard about yourself? You're like, bruh, come on now.
Man, I don't know. It'd be so many crazy shit I see. I don't even pay attention to it anymore.
So how do you go through that whole phase of like going through different social media stuff, and you're like, you got to turn this off? Because rappers in general, like, you're always trending for many times the wrong reasons, not for your music, your personal lives, what's going on with you. Like, do you go through any of those phases, or how do you even like separate those two worlds?
Of course, sometimes going through stuff and just being like, you gotta move differently and just like, just change your ways. Sometimes you just gotta adapt to the timing.
Yeah. And I know they're gonna kill me if I ain't ask you this, but you're single, you're married, you're not answering.
Man, I'm in a relationship. I'm not married, but I am in a relationship.
Do you want to get married?
Yeah, I do want to marry. Yeah.
Okay. You know, on Lean Sweet, they say all the time, they always talk about Haitian men don't cheat. Do
Right.
I have to ask you about that, or what?
Haitian men don't cheat.
So you gonna subscribe to that theory as well? Haitian men don't cheat?
I'm gonna subscribe, sign right up.
So one of the things like I've always watched you do too, whether you talk about it or not, you have put a lot of people on. Like you've opened the doors for a lot of different artists and like even like producers and so on. Is there a particular person you feel like you're like, okay, I was so excited and happy to have been part of that project to see like where they've gone or where their career's gone now?
Yeah, definitely. Like producers, Lab Cook who produced Carnival with Kanye. He went on to produce other songs with Kanye. He's an amazing producer. Definitely artists that I've signed: Famous Dex, Jay Critch, engineers that I work with, Jason, Tilly, rest in peace, Josh. There's like a lot of, it's just like a lot of people that, I'm happy for and excited to see them blossom.
If we were to do a Rich the Kid festival, now you get hip hop, you get a lot of different genres, and I'm gonna throw Haitian, I guess, compa in there too. What does your lineup look like?
Oh man.
What's a Rich the Kid festival lineup looking like?
Sweet Mickey.
Hey,
I would have Young Thug.
okay,
I would have Jay Critch.
okay,
I would have NBA Youngboy.
okay,
I would have Lil Wayne.
okay.
I would have Wiz Khalifa, Kodak Black. I would have Lauren Hill,
Nice.
Erica Badu.
I was gonna say, where the ladies at?
You know, I would have sexy bread. You know, I would mix it all up.
What is something right now in your career, like you felt like you haven't done yet, or have you felt like you've done everything aside from
Making
the
a movie.
movie?
That's about it. Making a movie. I feel like I've done like a lot of things.
Outside of the biopic, would you do anything where you're producing other films, or
Yeah, that would be dope. Yeah,
you can see yourself doing movies?
yeah, maybe that.
Well, outside of the biopic, what kind of titles we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that.
You see, I be trying to get stuff up out of you, so I could be
Yeah.
like exclusives. Like Rich said it here first. No, so right now your career for real though, like we ask this like when we normally do our interview. Would you consider yourself? Would you say I'm successful? Are you happy in where you are, or you feel like you got a lot more to do?
I feel like I got a lot more to do. Yeah,
You feel like you got a lot more to do?
Yeah. I always feel like that. I always feel like there's more goals to achieve, more levels to reach. You know what I'm saying? But I like that. You know what I'm saying? I always like that because I always want to push myself further and further.
What was your favorite project? Like that project, every time you think back on it, you like, yeah, this was the one that was like.
I would have to say probably my first album, "The World Is Yours." Album I did with Lil Wayne, Trust Fund Babies. Album I did with NBA YoungBoy, Nobody's Safe. Those like my 3 favorite albums, probably. Yeah.
And what are like some things like we talk about Haitian many times in the hip hop scene? Like there's a lot of Haitians in the music world, like a lot. Like I tell people all the time, like you go to any event, Grammys, you name it, there's so many Haitians behind the scene, and we're always talking about, oh, we don't tell enough Haitian stories, or we need to get together, we need to do more, we gotta, do more for Haitians. Do you think like there's a particular topic, like even on the hip hop scene, like we're not talking about enough?
Man, I feel like I do feel like you right. A lot of the more Haitians need to come together. Like when me and Kodak did this song, it's just like I just seen so much support from the Haitian community, and I feel like it should be promoted more. Like Haitians working together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm here to do that. Like. With my next album, I'm gonna work with more Haitians. Shout out to Friday.
Yeah.
He's got a dope album.
Yeah.
He
got the song with Joey Duet Filet.
Yeah, Joey. Shout out to Joey. He just dropped the remix with Burna Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm excited for the Haitian culture and pushing it forward.
No, we definitely feel like a little bit more synergy, like especially this year, in the Haitian music scene. But we don't have like, people talk about all the time, okay, Compa's not at the Grammys, not in these big award spaces. And people are looking at people like you. Many times they look at you, Kodak, now definitely Friday and things like that. And they're like, okay, well, they're over there, they repping for us. It's like, what do you think it would look like if what would be something that we could do as a community feel like to kind of get like our music or our artists like, to be, I guess, more appreciated, and big companies or producers want to come together and put these projects together?
I feel like it would take somebody putting together a Haitian album, like full Haitian album. Everybody that works on the album is Haitian, like Friday, Joey, different compa artists, Kodak, just only Haitian artists all on one album.
Yeah. Dang, I never thought about that. That's actually a really dope idea.
Yeah.
That's just like the festival lineup we just talked about, Rich the Kid Festival, Rich the Kid Haitian album.
Yeah.
You want to start that job? That sound like something you could do?
I definitely something.
So your next album, which obviously everybody's been waiting on, what do you think we can expect? Like, what are some topics? What are like, I guess not giving us all away, but creatively, what is it gonna look like for Rich the Kid's next album?
Definitely a lot of versatility, just like different vibes, different cultures, Haitian culture, Afrobeat culture, the Latin culture, just like everything just mixed up in one project type of thing.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And when do you have a date yet? You still working on it?
Still
Rain
working
Snow is
on it.
part of that project?
Yeah, it's part of that project.
Okay.
Definitely this summer. I'm trying to have it out.
That's around the corner.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you about to be back on this couch.
I'm about to go back to the studio right after this.
Okay, so this summer, so pretty much everybody just need to stay tuned. Rain Snow is pretty much just a Rich the Kid teaser.
Yeah, teaser. I got more songs coming out.
Are you gonna tease more singles before?
Yeah, I got songs coming out like this month type of shit.
Okay. And before we let you go, what is something that you would say or an advice or something to anybody that's watching this right now that's like never even heard of Rich the Kid? What would you say?
I would tell them to don't give up on their dreams. Keep pushing. Don't take no for an answer, and keep God first. And you can be like Rich the Kid. If you don't know me, Google me.
I know that's right. And you ain't gonna kill me because we ain't speak no Creole. So we gonna let's see. Let we get some
Ça
Creole
passe.
about. Ou pas dire ça passe. Y'a pas dit c'est ça passe au connaît. So for the next 2 minutes we got to do just Creole. So
Ok.
ça passe.
Qui ça parle là?
Ça va parler là.
Qui ça parle?
Qui ça va parler de manger? Ok,
De
nous déjà
manger.
connaissons mais
Légumes,
ou mais légumes.
sauce poivre,
Ça se va dire.
codène,
Encore.
lambi.
Ok. Qui est-ce qui oh on pas connaît comment on dit favorite en créole. Non mon yo. How you say favorite? What?
Favorite.
Favorite? How you say favorite?
Favorite, something like that.
Favorite?
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Who's your favorite compa artist? Mais faut dire que qui est-ce qui favorite compa artist for?
Sweet Mickey.
Sweet Mickey favorite compa. Ok. Qui sont comme moi do? Qui Aide-moi non faut parler avec tout. Moi chercher question. Faut aider tout. OK. OK, on fait Haïti, côté Haïti. Ou moun Port-au-Prince, sous cas Haïti, pas Port-au-Prince. Ou bien l'autre côté où qu'on a voulu aller.
Mais par contre, je voulais aller dans tout Haïti.
Ou voulez aller dans tout côté Haïti?
Tout côté Haïti.
OK. Si maman relo la konya, il mando, il prend relais sous pour un bagay ou fait mal, qui ça va là?
Si je fais un bagage mal,
Si maman relo parce qu'il fâche avec konya, pour qui ça fâche avec? Ça vous fait?
pour que ça me passe avec mais pareil les autres jours.
Il pas pas relais chaude. Si madame relo konya fâche avec, pour qui ça fâche avec?
Mais pas dire le côté m'a parlé.
Ou pas dire que tu vas parler? So, ou pas on check-in, ou pas check-in?
Pas connu. Pas aujourd'hui.
Pas chose va check-in. OK. So, l'autre l'école qui studies ou te remet plus l'autre l'école?
I don't know about that one.
You know, what was your favorite studies? Your favorite class? Your favorite?
Mais pas très bien l'école.
What do you mean l'école? Mais quand you go artist, what do you mean l'école? So, so they got by advice pour, I guess, on Haitian artist qui vini konya. Qui sort de artist là? Mais faut dire en créole, oui.
Oui. C'est pour monter musique yo. And that's about it. That's all I know.
Promote music, yo. Thank you, Rich. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sitting in with us today. We are so excited, obviously, of Rain Snow, all of your previous projects, and we are so excited to hear like what your next album is going to be. We wish you absolute luck and success.
Thank
and you
you.
already know, no matter what you do, you're going to be on Lean Sweet.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so
Appreciate
excited to
you.
be here.
Appreciate you so much.